came to Australia, there were up to 700 Indigenous languages spoken in Australia. Now, these days, many of those languages have actually been lost, which is quite sad. Around 160 remain in everyday use. But there are some really passionate people researching Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander languages. And Des Crump from the Australian State Archives has been helping them out. Des is a Gamilaroi man and also a languages expert. Nara, Des, thank you so much for joining me. Now, you've been running some workshops at the State Archives, haven't you? What kind of things are people been coming to these workshops looking for?
Yeah, ma'am, and acknowledgement to the traditional custodians. I'm on Yagra land. So at the archives, we've had just had a recent workshop, dozen or so people researching 10, 12 related languages, particularly from the Gulf and that Mount Isa region. So we're very lucky that the group were able to find some great discoveries over the week.
Yeah, that sounds great. So how much First Nations languages material do you reckon there is amongst the state archives right now? How much gold is in there?
Well, we're still finding out, actually, Emma, because the archives, the descriptions are very much government records, so they're not that easy to find for community. And so I've been going through and researching the items, and so I'm up to about 83 different languages so far from across Queensland, and there's another 20, 30 odd from interstate, and we're still uncovering the what treasures or what hidden gems are in the collections.
Oh, interesting. How long does it take you to go through all of this? Like with the state archives, I imagine they're pretty big.
Oh, yes. So I've mainly concentrated on the digital items at the moment because I'm only there one day a week, and just coming up to my 12-month anniversary, and we're really only just getting into the other materials and finding some of the records. So that's why we really loved having the researchers there, because from a community perspective, then they can help us identify the material in the collection and also tag it in so that it's easily more discoverable than from other community members and researchers alike. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. So it's the people that have been coming along, the 100. How many people have you had helping out?
Oh, we had just the community workshop. So we've had
Right.
two of those. So 20 last year, or 25 people last year, and then 12 this year. So in my job there as the researcher, so I'm there one day a week, and I'm combing through the collections, and also collection staff at the archives are also helping to identify some material. So someone just last week passed me some pastoral maps of all things that had some language words on there. So they're really important things in terms of identifying what are the traditional names of different localities. So these ones were from southwest Queensland, and so it's very, very rewarding because one of them actually happened to be a property where my family is connected to. So
That is so interesting. Wow, it's amazing, isn't it, when people dig up their like personal archives and maybe to them something doesn't mean too much, but then they show you and you can add it to this resource for everyone for the future. Can you tell me a bit more about the projects that are happening with your workshop participants?
Well, a few of them, they're wanting to pull together community dictionaries and word lists and so on, but also there's a couple that have already started that process and fair way down the track, and they're looking at language in schools. So a couple of the Normanton schools, just in this last 6 months, have started a language in schools program, which is another great way to share and to grow that language. And one group were very excited. We Tugalaka, which is based around Croydon and Georgetown on that Etheridge Goldfield area. So a lot of very early contact. And in amongst the collection, we found a list of about 150 words from a surveyor who was the government surveyor, and he was based at Georgetown. And so that was a completely unexpected find. The couple that came down, they set themselves a target. Oh, well, if we can find 10 words from our Tugalaka language, that would be a real achievement. And so they're just blown away when they found 150.
Wow. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, when you go in with a goal like that and then you absolutely blast it out of the water, it's always super amazing, isn't it? At 9 to 7 on ABC Sunshine Coast, I'm catching up with Des Crump, who is from the Queensland State Archives. He's a Gamilaroi man and a languages expert, and has actually been working with some pretty passionate people through some workshops that are researching Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander languages. Now, with those languages, have you found any sort of remarkable finds that you just didn't expect as you've been ploughing through the archives?
Yes, one of them I'm working on in quite a bit of detail at the moment. It was another surveyor because there's quite a lot of people who were in that space very early on, and particularly government surveyors. And so this document, it's 140 pages long, and I'm up to 38 Queensland languages just in that one document. And then there's another 16 from New South Wales and another 3 or 4 from Victoria, just in one document. And so he's collected words from all the spaces and places that he's been to in terms of mapping and surveying townships and that. And he's just had one of those, I guess, shared that passion or that interest in language, and he just wanted to document words because in the early days there was a government directive for the surveyors to use the local word. If it was, they had 3 conditions. If it was melodic and sounded well, and then if it was easy to pronounce, and then 3, and this was from Thomas Mitchell himself, that it needed to be accurate. It had to be verified by the local community. It couldn't just be sort of a word just sort of off the cuff sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, wow, Des, that's so interesting. Des is a Gamilaroi man and a languages expert for your history segment today. It's 7 to 7 on your ABC. Good morning.